Midnight terror at the haunted carnival. As the moon cast an airy glow over the abandoned carnival, I hesitated but couldn't resist exploring the desolate amusement park. The rusty gates screeched as I pushed them open, and an unsettling chill ran down my spine. Broken rides loomed like silent specters, and faded posters hinted at the park's once vibrant past. My footsteps echoed through the empty grounds as I wandered deeper into the heart of the park. The distant laughter of children now replaced by an unsettling silence. Among the ruins, I spotted an old, run-down clown attraction that seemed to beckon me closer. Approaching cautiously, I felt the weight of the night press upon me. Inside the dilapidated clown tent, I could hardly see anything, but a faint flicker of candlelight led me further into the darkness. With each step, the air grew colder, and a strange sense of being watched washed over me. In the flickering candlelight, I saw a circle of cloaked figures standing around a sinister-looking symbol drawn on the floor. My heart pounded in my chest as the realization struck me I stumbled upon a gathering of demon worshippers. Unable to escape unnoticed, I hid behind a stack of old wooden crates, praying they wouldn't notice me. The cultists began chanting in an ancient, otherworldly language, and an overwhelming sense of dread filled the air. Moments later, a thick fog engulfed the tent, and from within emerged nightmarish figures, demons with grotesque features and malevolent grins. The air crackled with dark energy, and the atmosphere grew suffocating. In the midst of the demonic ritual, the clowns painted in sinister colors came to life, their eyes glowing with an unholy fire. The once cheerful, playful characters were now instruments of terror, their maniacal laughter echoing through the tent. As the night wore on, the horror escalated. Demons danced alongside the clown killers, their movements unnatural and unsettling. Fear paralyzed me as I witnessed this malevolent alliance between two nightmarish forces. Amidst the chaos, one of the cultists attempted to summon an even greater demon, seeking more power. But something went horribly wrong. The ritual spiraled out of control, and a powerful surge of energy swept through the tent. The clowns turned on their own, attacking both cultists and demons alike. Panic and terror consumed the dark assembly. In the madness that followed, I managed to slip away, leaving the haunting scene behind. The horrors I witnessed that night will forever haunt me. It was a chilling reminder that some things are best left undisturbed, and the boundaries between our world and the realm of darkness are not to be trifled with. Whispers from the other side. In the dimly lit attic of an old, secluded mansion, a group of friends gathered around a mysterious object, an antique Ouija board. The air was thick with anticipation as they placed their fingers lightly on the planchette, ready to make contact with the unknown. As they asked their first question, a sense of trepidation filled the room. The planchette moved hesitantly at first, as if the spirits were testing their sincerity. But soon, it glided across the board, spelling out cryptic messages that sent shivers down their spines. The group's initial skepticism gave way to a creeping fear as the board seemed to possess a life of its own. It spelled out the names of their deceased loved ones and revealed intimate details about their lives, convincing them that they were indeed communicating with spirits. They asked for guidance, seeking answers to questions that had plagued them for years. The Ouija board responded with eerie accuracy, leaving them both amazed and terrified. But as the night wore on, the messages took a darker turn, and the atmosphere in the room grew heavy with malevolence. One member of the group, Mark, seemed particularly fixated on the board. He asked about his future, desperate for a glimmer of hope. The planchette moved frantically, spelling out a prophecy that sent a chill through his soul, a foreboding warning that he would meet his end within the year. Fear and panic gripped the group as they tried to end the session, but the planchette refused to move to goodbye. The spirits seemed unwilling to release their hold on the living. The room filled with an ominous presence, and strange phenomena occurred: a flickering light, the sound of distant whispers, and objects moving on their own. As terror consumed them, they realized they had unleashed something beyond their understanding. The line between the living and the dead blurred, and the spirit's malevolence intensified. Mark's face turned pale as he felt an invisible force tightening around his throat. One of the friends, Mia, bravely grabbed the planchette and attempted to force it to goodbye. The room shook with unseen energy, and Maya's hands trembled under the pressure. With a final exertion of will, she managed to close the connection, and the Ouija board fell silent. The group was left shaken and forever changed by the experience. Mark couldn't shake off the haunting prophecy that had been foretold, and the others couldn't forget the malevolent force they had encountered. They vowed never to touch the Ouija board again, knowing that some secrets are best left undisturbed, and some messages are better left unheard. Spirits of the Forgotten Cemetery. On a moonlit night, a group of thrill-seeking friends gathered at the gates of an ancient and forgotten cemetery. Intrigued by the stories of restless spirits said to roam the grounds, they brought with them an old Ouija board, hoping to make contact with the other side. The graveyard was overgrown and filled with weathered tombstones, telling tales of lives long past. As they stepped cautiously between the graves, the air grew heavy with an eerie stillness, and a cold breeze seemed to whisper through the trees. Setting up the Ouija board on an old tombstone, they placed their trembling fingers on the planchette. The night was silent except for the occasional hoot of an owl and the distant sound of crickets. "Is there anyone here with us?" one of them asked, voice barely above a whisper. To their surprise, the planchette moved almost immediately, spelling out a name: Eleanor. Startled but excited, they continued their communication with Eleanor, a spirit who claimed to have been buried in the cemetery centuries ago. She spoke of a tragic life cut short, and her longing for closure and peace. As they delved deeper into the conversation, other spirits joined in, their presence becoming more pronounced with each passing moment. Some were lost souls seeking guidance, while others were tormented spirits, trapped in the realm between worlds. The atmosphere grew charged with energy, and a faint glow enveloped the Ouija board. Shadows danced between the tombstones, and the friends felt a mixture of fear and curiosity. Despite their apprehension, they pressed on, feeling a responsibility to help the spirits find solace. In the midst of their communication, the planchette suddenly moved with incredible speed, almost as if pulled by an unseen force. A malevolent spirit had taken hold, spelling out chilling messages of darkness and despair. The friends trembled, realizing they had inadvertently invited something sinister. Terrified yet determined, they fought to regain control of the session. With every ounce of willpower, they managed to cut off the malevolent spirit, sealing it off from their realm. The Ouija board went still, and an eerie calm settled over the cemetery. They decided to end the session, saying their goodbyes to Eleanor and the other benevolent spirits they had encountered. The sense of relief was palpable as they carefully put the Ouija board away. As they made their way back to the gates, they couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. A chill ran down their spines, and they quickened their pace. Behind them, they heard faint whispers in the wind, a mixture of gratitude and warning. The experience left them forever changed, a deeper understanding of the thin veil that separates the living from the dead. The graveyard held its secrets, and they knew they had witnessed something extraordinary, a glimpse into the mysteries of the afterlife. And so, they left the cemetery with a newfound respect for the spirits that wandered in the darkness, hoping that their brief encounter had brought some measure of peace to the restless souls of the forgotten graveyard.